Hello，欢迎来到异想直播间。本场直播的主题是 Bio-China 2026国际论坛韩国市场。Hey everyone, welcome to today's webinar hosted by Bio-China. Today's webinar topic is Korea market.
大家中午好，大家可能刚吃完午饭，我们就在这里面来探讨一下整体的一个中韩的这么一个合作的机会。안녕하세요. reshaped 윤섭입니다. 네, 점심시간 이렇게 시간 내주셔서 감사합니다. 그래서 이번 세션은 주로 한중 바이오 간에 어떤 사업을 할 수 있는지에 관해서 좀 더 논의를 하는 시간을 가지도록 하겠습니다. 아무래도 지금 오늘 현장에 와주신 분들이 뭐 한국 분도 있고 중국 분도 있어서 영어로 진행할 건데요. So first of all, yeah, good morning everyone. It's great honor to me have a chance to introduce myself and overall have an opening speech in today. And I hope that during this conference, everyone can give new insights, meet new partners, and discover new opportunities. My name is Lee from Highlight Capital. Highlight Capital is a global healthcare and a biopharma. In China, we do investment in global, and we invest across different parts, including the biotech companies, CRO, and the CDMO. So today's topic of my presentation is bridging opportunities, Korea-China biopharma ecosystem. So first of all, I want to just show this chart for you, and this is the Kospi index in this year. We can see from 2022 to 2025, the overall Korea stock market is really stable. There is no big change. But just from the beginning of the 2025, there is a lot of big change in Korean market, and the stock market has increased 2.5 times. So what is important here is that the growth is not driven by the individual company, it's not driven by the individual stock. The overall index is increased. So of course, there are many factors behind of this change, including the macroeconomic condition, policy shifts, and global capital inflow. But in our view, we think the important reason is the high quality Korean asset is being rediscovered by the global investors. Global capital is once again paying close attention to Korea's technology companies, manufacturing strengths, and the innovation capabilities. So next page is I just showed that the trend of the global value discovery is also happening in the Korea biotech sector, not just in the stock market. Over the past several years, Korea biotech companies have been increasingly active in global licensing transactions. You can see there like the Orion Therapeutics, RTOs, and this kind of biotech company in Korea, they continually have the licensing deal in global. I think this is really meaningful transaction because it demonstrates the global pharma industry's confidence in Korea biotech industry and innovation. In addition, our other Korean biotech companies such as Orion, RTOs, and ABL, AMED Bio, Olix, this company is really good company in global. So instead, they reflect a broader trend. Korea biotech innovation is increasingly being recognized on the global stage. And then we can take a step back and look at the global biotech industry from a broader perspective. Both China and Korea play extremely important roles in the global innovation ecosystem. If we look at the number of the active drug development pipelines, the states ranks first globally. But the China and Korea is really important. They located in the second and the third place in global ranking. We can see the China has the close to 7,000 active pipelines, and the Korea have about 3,400 pipelines right now. And we also can check the biotech companies number. The China currently has around 1,200 companies, and the Korea has close to 400 companies. So this means that China and Korea rank second and third globally in terms of the biotech innovation activity. These numbers clearly demonstrate that both countries have built strong scientific foundation, deep talent pools, and a good innovation ecosystem. So we also think they have a really big potential. These two companies can collaborate in biotech industry. So this slide highlights the strategic importance of the collaboration between China and Korea. Both countries occupy very important position within Asian biotech landscape. Over the past decade, the proportion of the innovative asset developed in Asia has been increasing steadily. More important, Asia is now produce not only innovation, but also like the novel technologies and the new modalities, including antibody drugs, cell therapeutics, gene therapies, and RNA-based technologies. As a result, Asia, this region is becoming a major source of innovation for the global pharmaceutical industry. This creates opportunity for cross-border collaboration between the China and the Korea. And I just showed the Kospi index, the change, and this is the overall Hong Kong biotech index. Now we can turn back to the Chinese biotech market. Over the past year, the Chinese biotech sectors has experienced a strong market performance. Compared with the 2024, the overall biotech sector index has increased close to the 2.6 times. We believe that this trend represents a global revaluation of the Chinese biotech assets. For several years, Chinese biotech companies experienced a significant market pressure. But recently, global investors have begun to recognize the true value of the China innovation asset, the biotech company's valuation. This change in market sentiment is now being reflected in both capital markets and the global partnership. So maybe a lot of persons ask me what is the reason the Chinese Hong Kong biotech index increased a lot. The reason is for the next page. The next page is really impressive. Last year, the China have 158 licensing transactions in last year, and the total deal value is close to the 135 billion US dollar. This is a really big number, and historically it's the highest number. So I think the one of the most important driver behind the revaluation of the Chinese assets, this is the rapid growth of the global licensing transaction involving China biotech companies. In 2025, China achieved a record number of overseas licensing deals. So among this amount, actually the most important number is the upfront fee. You can see that the upfront fee is already reached the 7 billion US dollar. So for biotech companies, the upfront fee is really important. Unlike milestone payments and loyal payments, milestone payments means the immediately and the certain capital to biotech company. So this funding can directly support the clinical trial and the clinical development activities, including the clinical trial, manufacturing expansion, and pipeline advancement. So more importantly, these deals clearly demonstrate the global pharma industry's recognition of the Chinese biotech innovation. And in this page, I just to show what is the Chinese regulatory attitude to Chinese biotech. Another important advantage of the China is the clinical development efficiency. China has developed a very strong clinical trial ecosystem with a large patient population, efficient trial execution, and increasingly supportive regulatory policies. As a result, the speed of clinical development in China has improved significantly. So you can see that just like the BCR-ABL, this drug is launched in 2021 year, but it's launched in China just in 2019. The gap is 18 years, but right now the China is different. The gap is narrow right now. For example, the gap is right now, and in fact, in some cases, we are seeing the first-in-class drugs launched in China first, just like the ADC and the bispecific EGFR. This kind of drug is first launched in China and is already in global pharma. So I think this trend reflects the strong support from the Chinese regulatory authorized for innovative drug development. So next piece, I just wanted to introduce the Highlight Capital. We founded in 2014, and we have grown into a global healthcare investment firm. And our AUM is close to the 4.2 billion US dollar, and we have close to 60 professionals across the globe. And we have invested close to the 200 companies in global, and most of companies is biotech, healthcare, and medical device companies. And our investment focus is mainly focused on the three major areas. The first is the CRO and the CDMO platforms. We began investing in these sectors very early, and they have developed long-term partnership with leading companies. Second, we actively invest in biotech companies, particularly those developing breakthrough therapies. Third, we continue to support companies that can build a global healthcare ecosystem. And because we have 5 offices in different countries, so in different districts we have different investment strategy. In Asia, our strategy is really broad, covering the multiple segments of the healthcare industry. And the United States, we primarily focus on the first-in-class innovation. And in Europe, we have a strong interest in the radiopharma. So we invested like the ITM. This is the radiopharma product, Pluvicto from Novartis, and this CDMO is this product. And last year, we also expanded our investment in additional radiopharma companies in Europe. And recently, we also achieved a really good license out and the transaction deals. For example, we sold Biosys, a company in which we hold close to 4% ownership. We sold this company to the biotech. And we also successfully sold a gold treatment biotech companies, Acerossi. We sell this company to the Sobi in Europe, close to the $900. Additionally, one of our portfolio companies, Villa Vigo, he completed 2 significant global licensing last year. I just wanted to introduce more about the Villa Vigo. Villa Vigo is a really good antibody-based therapy companies. In 2024 and 2025, this company complete 2 major licensing deals with global pharmaceutical partners. The total deal value is close to the $800 million US dollar and the $400 million US dollar respectively. And this transaction demonstrates the company's strong scientific capabilities and the global partners' potential. And Villa Vigo has a very unique business model. So traditional biotech companies that typically rely on the venture capital's financing and continuously consume capital during the long development cycles. They are always to cash burning. However, Villa Vigo is different. Their business model is the venture capital financing with active business development partnership. So through strategic licensing deals, the company can generate cash flow by himself, and the cash flow can influence while they continue to develop the pipeline. So this model allows the company to continuously accumulate the cash flow and improve the overall company's valuation. And in this page, I just wanted to introduce the overall the ecosystem of the bio and the healthcare, because our company, our investment strategy is different from others. We are also doing investment in upstream, downstream, and CRO and the CDMO provider. So our portfolio companies working together in a lot of areas, such as the clinical developments, manufacturing, and the global commercialization. This ecosystem helps us to the innovation and creates additional value for our partnership. And in Korea, we also do some investments. So we invested a Korea CRO company with our Chinese portfolio company, TigerMed. So our goal was to develop Korea as an important clinical trial hub in Asia. After the investment, we helped the Meditip required several CRO companies like in Korea and in the States. So you know, right now the drug discovery is really popular and it's really important. So we acquired Curie Bio in the States with Meditip, and we also invested a lot of the different CRO companies in China and Korea. And there is a lot of Chinese companies, they wanted to enter the Korean market, the global market. So we think Korea is a really good, important gateway for these Chinese companies. So we also introduced our portfolio Chinese companies to clinical trial in Korea with Meditip. And we also invested the anti-aging company in Korea. This is a medical aesthetic company. And we think anti-aging markets will be bigger and bigger, and it's really important as part of the healthcare industry. And we think South Korea has very strong capabilities in medical aesthetic and the regenerative medicine, anti-aging technologies. So for this reason, we invested in this company, Ceroc, and this company is focused on the anti-aging therapy. So after investment, we used our global network to connect the company with the partners across the global. It's both including the upstream materials and the research partners and the downstream commercialization partners. So through the HLC ecosystem, this company running the really big and good global business together. Finally, we also have a really good relationship with Korean governments and the industrial organizations. So HL's goal is not just to do investment in Korea or to investment in China. We want to be China and Korea gateway to strengthen the biopharma collaboration between the China and Korea and to promote the cross-border innovation and get some really good investment results. So yes, so in conclusion, so both China and Korea are becoming increasingly important players in global biotech industry. So we hope to strengthen this kind of collaboration between two countries and the two biohealthcare ecosystem. And we think we are bringing new therapies to patients and to help worldwide patients. They can have a good drug and the biotech technology to help them. So thank you very much for your time, and wish everyone can have a really successful and productive conference in BioChina. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, good morning, everyone. And yeah, thank you all for coming BioChina here in China. And I know as many of you traveled from the different countries come here. And today we are very excited they bring together leaders from both Korea's biopharma industry. And I hope we can have a very open and enjoyable discussion and explore together the collaboration opportunities between China and Korea in the biopharma sectors. 很开心，我们今天邀请到了韩国非常著名的这些生物医药的企业，能够我们中国的企业家、中国的医药机构进行一些交流。Yeah, so I will using the English to host this panel. And the first question is, I think this is really important place, and there is a lot of Chinese biopharma companies and the entrepreneurs come here. So first of all, could you please introduce yourself and introduce your companies and what kind of the chance opportunities you are seeking in China? And yeah, from Dr. Chang.
Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is So-Young Jang, Executive Director of Business Development of New Drug Pipeline at Celltrion. I also lead our Open Innovation team, which we actively pursue strategic collaboration with the external innovators and breakthrough technology partners worldwide. And recently, we are best known as the first mover in biosimilar market. However, we are now taking next big step for transitioning ourselves from biosimilar specialist to developing new drug pipeline. Founded in 2002 as a small size CMO startup, Celltrion began its journey at a time when biopharmaceutical was still uncharted business sector in Korea pharmaceutical industry. And success of Lemsima approval, the first ever biosimilar, we established the Korea large-scale manufacturing facility, which laid our technological and operational foundation for our future growth. We achieved another milestone. Lemsima is marketed as Jimpentra in US, the world only subcutaneous formulation of infliximab. This innovation positioned Celltrion as a true pioneer in global market. However, we are not stopping here. We plan to expand our biosimilar portfolio more than 40 pipeline by 2038, further strengthening our global leadership. At the same time, we are reinvestigating strong cash flow from biosimilar to new drug development. leveraging over 2 decades of antibody expert.
Thank you, Dr. Zhang. Actually, I think a lot of Chinese companies may be not really familiar with Xiaochuan, but it's really famous biopharma company in Korea. But I think Xiaochuan is not Korea biopharma; it's a global biopharma right now. They have a really good facilities in global, and there's really good companies in global. So, yeah, but after this panel, if you have any interest to have a collaboration with the Xiaochuan, you can touch the Dr. Zhang. And Dr. Huang, could you please introduce SK Biopharma? Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Song Guan-hang, CTO of SK Biopharmaceuticals. SK Biopharmaceuticals is global biopharmaceuticals focused on drug discovery, development, and commercialization in the field of CNS and oncology. We are one of the few Korean pharmaceutical companies that cover from discovery to commercialization in the global market. We have our own product in the United States called Xcopri, anti-seizure medication, and we operate our commercial organization in the United States. So from this capability, we would like to expand our portfolio or pipelines through the collaboration. So we are expanding our portfolio from small molecule to next modalities like RPT and TPD, radiopharmaceutical therapeutics, and targeted protein degradation. At the same time, we are actively collaboration with diverse partners, biotech companies, and academic institutes, and AI-driven discovery partners to accelerate our innovation and expand our pipelines. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Huang. Actually, SK Biopharma is also a global pharma company based in Seoul and come from the Korea, but they are running really big business in global. And the SK Pharma also, Biopharma also did several really impressive deals in China. So in the later, Dr. Huang introduced the details of these deals. And Greg from the Aurum Therapeutics, and Greg is from the States. Yeah.
Thank you, Lee, and thank you for being here. My name is Greg Dwyer. I'm the head of business development at Aurum Therapeutics. Aurum is best known as a pioneer in the emerging degrader antibody conjugate field. And effectively what degrader antibody conjugates, or DACs, are ADCs using targeted protein degrader payloads. So really what we're doing is innovating new payloads to obviously help patients with cancer and other diseases. We have a portfolio. We have multiple DAC platforms that we've developed within Aurum, and I should mention we are I'm an American, but I work at Aurum. Aurum is a COSDAC listed company based in Daejeon. We have a U.S. subsidiary and research operation in the Boston area where I'm based. So we are a global company in that regard, and we have multiple DAC technologies. We have a lead program that we'll take to the clinic hopefully later this year. We'll file the IND middle of this year and be on our way to the clinic. And then beyond our wholly owned portfolio, there's a program using our technology currently in phase 1 clinical development for AML. It's a program called ORM6151. It's a CD33 GSPT1 conjugate that we sold to Bristol Myers Squibb in the fall of 2023, and that we got $100 million upfront. So at the time, it was the largest upfront for a Korean biotech. I think it's been matched since by a few others, but we were very proud of that. And we've also done a research collaboration with Vertex. Vertex is using our platforms to develop novel conditioning agents that they can use in conjunction with their HSC-based gene therapies like Casgevy, which is approved for sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia. And as far as China goes, we don't have any existing biopharma relationships with China yet, but we're quite active in China. We have an extensive CRO network that we work with to move our research ideas forward, and we've done our manufacturing for our development programs here. So we're here in China hoping to do more with Chinese biopharma.
Thank you, Greg. Orium Therapeutics actually is a young company, but it's really great. It's a leading biotech company in Korea, and they have done several really impressive deals in US and in global. So in this panel, Greg also will introduce more details of this transaction to you guys and give you some experience from Greg. Okay, thank you for the introduction. And several of you mentioned that your companies will do or have already begun collaborating with the Chinese biopharma companies. So my first question is, would the Korean pharmaceutical companies will be willing to engage early stage in the companies and to even before the IND filing? So do you want to sharing development risk with the Chinese pharma companies in global rights or just in Korea rights? What kind of business model do you want to do? Just so two questions, which stage and do you want to share the risk of the early stage?
There has been encouraging global pharmaceutical companies forming early stage partnership with the Chinese innovative asset, sharing development risk and global right. Our preferred collaboration stage is preclinical stage is some following reason. First, the development risk remain manageable, and second is the joint IP structuring and right allocation is designed efficiently, and the value creation potential related to investment is higher, significantly higher. So now Korea biotechs are generating competitive technology. There is a growing need for co-development after securing the early stage pipeline. So if China's the rapid the candidate discovery and clinical execution are combining with Korea global regulatory expert and commercial network, global market accessibility is substantially strengthened.
Okay, thank you. So if Chinese company who have a preclinical stage pipeline, you can contact Dr. Zhang. Yeah, Dr. Huang.
Yeah, I think that early collaboration trend is increasingly feasible these days. For example, in the past, Korean pharmaceutical companies pursuing at later stage collaboration like phase 1 or phase 2. But as you know, competition, especially in the innovative drug discovery, is extremely intense these days. For example, many pharmaceutical companies are pursuing same first-in-class or best-in-class targets, and can be windows of exclusivity of first-in-class can be sometimes very short. This is why Korean pharmaceutical companies, including SK Biopharmaceuticals, are increasingly interested in earlier collaboration. At SK Biopharmaceuticals, we established the Open Innovation Center this year to facilitate early stage collaboration with diverse partners, including China partners. Through this, we can facilitate the innovation from worldwide with our expertise in global market.
So where is based this Open Innovation Lab? In Seoul or in which countries do you have Open Innovation?
It is very flexible. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Dr. Huang. And Greg, could you,
Yeah, this question's easy for them. We're a preclinical company at this stage, so we're obviously open to collaborating at the preclinical stage. I think where we see, the potential in collaborating with Chinese biopharma is, as I mentioned, we're doing degrader antibody conjugates. There are many excellent Chinese biotech companies developing really great antibodies to interesting targets, and also many Chinese biopharma companies, biotech companies, developing really exciting new degrader technologies. And I think the strength of Aurum is actually putting those two modalities together. So we see partnering opportunities with earlier stage Chinese companies, both for accessing new antibodies and potentially new degraders. So that's one area our business development team is focused on right now. And then I think easily in the future, we can envision as we move to more development stage company, we've talked a lot internally about leveraging the clinical development capabilities that have really exploded in China. China, taking advantage of China's speed for early clinical development. Obviously, getting through phase 1 and showing proof of concept in the clinic is extremely important for an early stage biotech that has capital constraints. You want to get to that next value inflection point as quick as you can. So we will certainly look for opportunities as we enter the clinic to try to tap into the China clinical development network.
Thank you so much. So we can make sure that the Korean companies, they are not just interested in the late stage, they are also have interest in the early stage, even the preclinical pipelines, they are also have interest. So I think this is really good chance or the opportunities to Chinese companies to want to go global. And my next question is about the NewCo model. NewCo model is really popular in China. The Chinese asset, we are set up a JV company in USA and do independence financing US and going IPO. So I just want a question about what do you think about the NewCo company, and do you have plan, or do you think is it possible you license in the Chinese asset and we make a JV in Korea or in USA and then do global business together? Do you think it's possible, and what do you think about it?
Yes, we haven't experienced NewCo model, but we are interested in the NewCo. The NewCo structure means focusing the capital and operational resource on single innovative platform or pipeline. So this primary advantage is speed. By accelerated development speed, maybe value is generated accessed earlier, so which lead to the measurable outcome like commercialization and global licensing. So for example, Korea and China, the NewCo is such a collaboration model. China lead the early development and initial clinical trial, and Korea lead the global clinical trial and commercialization. Such a collaboration model must be the accelerated comparative, global comparative and facilitated commercialization and licensing out and M&A. But NewCo success depends heavily on governance structure and IP ownership and protection and control and decision-making system, and also require the experienced management team with global execution capability. So ultimate object must be the long-term value creation through the M&A, IPO, and something.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chang. Actually, the Celltrion beginning their business from a biosimilar industry, so they have rich experience in the USA approval and the licensing experiences. So I think this kind of strength can help Chinese companies. And Dr. Huang, I know you have some experience and some cases in China. You have NewCo business. So could you give us some introduce about it?
Okay. Yes, we view the NewCo model very positively, and I believe it is becoming one of the most effective ways to bring the innovative pipeline into global market. Especially the development of new medicines requires huge times and capitals. So through the NewCo model, we can leverage the capital and assets together. In terms of NewCo model, we have some distinctive experience in the China market. In 2021, we established a joint venture called Ignis together with Shanghai-based investment from Six Dimensions Capital. And that collaboration has been very successful. And for example, Ignis approved two our main drugs, Xcopri and Soliampetal, through the NMPA. And not only joint venture, we also have diverse collaboration with the Chinese company. For example, last year we acquired China-based RPT program from Full Life Therapeutics. And then we cleared the FDA IND, and we are on the global clinical phase 1 study. Through this experience, we have some confidence, and we have a distinct our own playbook for collaboration with China biotech. So we can replicate our playbook again, and we also expand our playbook to, for example, newcomer models.
Thank you, Dr. Huang. SQ Biopharma actually finished the 2 deals. Like the first one is Ignis, they licensed in the CNS therapies in China incubator company, and it's also get the approval from the NMPA. Congratulations. And another one case is they license out the Full Life in China radiopharma company and to do the global business. And Greg, you have really rich experience in the US market. Do you have any point?
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly thinking about new co-opportunities, and I'll explain in a second. But I think up to this point, Orem, as an earlier stage company, has been very focused on creating value with our core platforms and for our core purpose, which was developing drugs in oncology. So I mentioned earlier we did the deal with BMS about a little over 2 years ago. That brought in significant capital. We listed on Kosdaq about a year ago, and then wound up doing a PIPE at the end of last year. So I think capital-wise, we're in a much stronger position where we can actually start thinking about the possibility of a new co-opportunity. And where we're thinking about that is areas where our a DAC approach, areas outside of oncology where a DAC approach might be viable. So again, we've built our company around oncology, and therefore all of our internal expertise is on oncology discovery and development. But we think DAC can be a useful modality in other therapeutic areas. So this is where a NewCo model might make sense, where we can take some ideas that we've generated internally and get them funded and allow them to move forward efficiently, with Orem know-how, but outside of Orem, using other sources of capital. So again, I think the NewCo model might make sense for us as we think about therapeutic expansion of our DAC technologies.
Thank you, Greg. So we just talked about the stage NewCo, and my next question is about the pipeline focus. So looking ahead to your 2026 pipeline planning, which therapeutics areas or modalities are you most focused on? For example, ADC, CNS, or any emerging technology, which kind of modalities and areas you are really focused on in pipeline?
Yes, over the past 20 years, Altron has built end-to-end capability from discovery, development to manufacturing and commercialization. Based on this integrated infrastructure, Altron focusing on the antibody-centered innovative therapeutics, especially ADC and multi-specific antibody. In 2025, our 4 pipelines received the FDA IND approval for phase 1. One among these programs is designated fast track by FDA. So by 2028, we plan to secure FDA IND approval for total 15 pipelines. So beyond antibody, we are expanding our new modality, including peptide therapeutics. So we are currently developing the next generation obesity therapeutics, including multi-agonist and injectable and oral formulation.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Huang.
Yeah, we are focusing on CNS and oncology areas. In the CNS case, we are focusing on disease biology instead of focusing on modalities. So like neuroimmune mechanisms. So we are very open to diverse modalities. For example, we can combine our 30 years CNS expertise with new modalities, and we can create a highly differentiated portfolio or pipeline In the case of oncology, as I mentioned, we are focused on new modalities like RPT and TPD, radiopharmaceuticals and targeted protein degradation. And these days, we are focusing on connection. Compared to previous time, connection is more and more important. So, for example, RPT and TPD consist of multi-components like binder, linker, and payload. So if a China company have a strong point in novel binder, like a peptide binder or macrocyclic binder or novel target binder expertise, we can contribute to strengths in linker chemistry or payload design. Then together we can create a highly differentiated platform or assets to the global markets. So we are very open to collaboration with Chinese company.
Thank you. Greg.
We're obviously very focused on DAC modality. That's our core focus and only focus at the moment. So I think our focus this year is really getting our lead program into the clinic. So we announced at ASH in December of last year that we have a CD123 GSPT1 conjugate that we'll file an IND for in the U.S. Early second half of this year. So big organizational focus on getting that program to IND stage and then hopefully to patients by the end of this year. And then beyond that, we have some other GSPT1 programs that we're moving toward PCC stage. And I think one thing our research team is really excited about is moving beyond the GSPT1 technology to find other degrader payloads that could work in the context of DAC. So again, any companies out there that have interesting antibodies or interesting degrader technologies, we would definitely be interested in talking with you.
Thank you, Greg. And then my next question is I wanted to ask Dr. Zhang. Actually, you are really interested in AI, and my question is actually now AI Plus is really popular, and China also invested a lot of money to in AI industry, and the AI Plus healthcare is usually in the drug discovery is really normal right now. And what is your perspective? What kinds of the AI related healthcare are your companies currently thinking and want to do in the future or in this year?
Recently, industry is shifting from just AI software model to integrated AI and plus asset strategy. It means a successful AI biotechs are not only design molecule but also synthesis compounding and generating preclinical data. So Chinese AI biotechs have demonstrated strong competitiveness by basically government-backed support and massive data generation production. And the robot-driving synthesis and experiment platform, and especially training both of successful and failed experiment data set. Most importantly, China is boldly easing the medical data regulation at government level and actively supporting the growth of AI startup. However, Korea is also adapting the AI and integrated experiment validation strategy. But unlike China, Korea faced the limitation in utilizing medical data due to strict data regulation. Celltrion is collaborating with a lot of AI biotechs to discover a new target and develop the pipeline. In the future, going forward, integrated AI with automation and robot laboratories will critical in the AI industry.
Thank you, Dr. Zhang. Dr. Huang and Greg, do you want to talk about AI?
It's not my area of expertise, but we are really looking for partner who have AI native capability because as you have mentioned, AI is really pivotal things for drug discovery and innovation. So frankly speaking, we are discussing collaboration with diverse Chinese AI-driven discovery companies. So we are looking for collaboration within this year.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. And then my final question is, actually in these days, three leaders, they also have several meetings with Chinese biotech, and I think they may be really familiar with Chinese biotech companies. So my question is, what do you think the Chinese biotech companies currently lack the most, and what kind of points and which kind of parts you can help them and improve them, and the collaboration and together to build a global business together? Yeah, so from Dr. Huang.
First of all, I want to emphasize that the innovation of China biotech company is highly impressive. As you have mentioned, most of deal size came from China recently. So in many areas like AI-driven discovery, clinical stage execution, or many sectors, China biotech companies are operating already at world-class levels. But there are still some areas where collaboration can be very valuable. The key areas is novel science or first-in-class target, as well as global regulatory strategy and commercialization, especially in the US or Europe market. From this perspective, SK Biopharmaceuticals one of the few Korean pharmaceutical companies that have capability in the global regulation strategy and commercialization. As I've mentioned, we have our own product in the United States. It's called Xcopri, anti-seizure medication. Last year revenue is around $450 million. And we operate our own sales rep in the United States. Through this process, we have developed deep expertise in the area of global regulatory strategy, commercialization planning, and etc. Through this, we can help Chinese innovation translate into global success.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Wang. Correct.
Yeah, I don't know that China is lacking in any area, frankly. But you know, I think maybe thinking about it from Orm's perspective as an earlier stage company, and what I'm going to mention is not unique to China. Is that I think many companies develop very broad and diverse preclinical pipelines. I think if you've sat in any presentations of Chinese biopharma companies, they usually have huge pipelines, you know, many different products listed. But I think maybe one of the challenges is getting those ideas from from PCC to phase 1 proof of concept, because funding environment, while excellent for some companies who've been able to do large transactions with multinational companies, I think for many companies, it's still difficult to access capital to bring things into phase 1 and move things into later stage development. And again, that's not a problem unique to China. I think a lot of biotechs across the globe face that challenge. So I think one way we're thinking about that is earlier collaboration where you're able to share cost and risk with a peer-sized company to create a more capital efficient model to get things to the clinic. And therefore get more shots on goal, because eventually, what's really going to drive value in all of our companies is generating data that's meaningful to patients in the long run. So I would just say, like, being more open to peer-to-peer collaboration. Sometimes that can be intimidating because if you're working in the same space, you might be viewing a peer as a competitor, but the opportunities for synergy are quite good. So that's how we're thinking about it.
Yeah, I just have one more question to ask Greg, because you achieved several deals collaboration or the license of these USA big pharma companies. So do you have any advices or suggestions to Chinese companies how to do achieve this kind of good results?
Some of it's luck, of course, but no, I think you have to generate very strong and compelling data and then be at the right place at the right time. I think in the case of our BMS deal, so again, we were an innovator in the DAC space. We were the first to the clinic, and we had really generated some really exciting data for that CD33 GSPT1 conjugate for AML. BMS had been working in the AML space with their own GSPT1 small molecule and actually had some challenges in the clinic with that program. So clearly they still believed in GSPT1 as a target and GSPT1 and AML. And they also had announced that they were interested in DAC as a modality. So I think kind of all the pieces fell into place where we actually had a ready-made asset for them, ready for the clinic at a time when they were pivoting in that direction. So yeah, I think it's staying abreast of what big pharma is looking for and having the data package that matches what they want. In the case of Vertex, so Vertex is very they have these HSC-based gene therapies. Casgevy, it's approved for sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia. It can potentially cure those patients, but one of the big challenges is getting the patients on therapy because they have to undergo an autologous stem cell transplant to get that therapy and therefore have to receive very harsh conditioning, and that's a turnoff and deterrent for many patients. So Vertex has been very public about wanting to find a better way to prepare their patients for those therapies. So we actually took a risk knowing that they were looking at ADCs as a modality, and we felt our technologies were potentially useful in that context. So we generated some data that we thought could be compelling to them and approached them with that data and over a series of long conversations, they bought in and we were able to get a deal done with them.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, HRC is a global investment company. We invest in different countries, but we find that two countries people is most hardworking. The first is the China, the second is Korea. So we hope two countries biopharma industry working together and we can achieve bigger and bigger the achievements together. Thank you so much. 네, 그럼 이번 기회로 이런 한중 간의 바이오 협업이 많기를 기대하겠습니다. 네, 감사합니다. 谢谢大家.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here at BioChina 2026. And I'm so honored to discuss a powerful new partnership bridging bioexcellence between two of Asia's most dynamic biotechnology hub, Suzhou and Incheon. Our goal is simple yet ambitious, to foster global open innovation here, to redefine the future of biotechnology in the global market. Before we dive into details, allow me briefly introduce myself. My name is Jisun Julia Lee, CEO of TBG Partners, startup accelerator based in Incheon, Korea. With over 25 years of experience in the startup ecosystem, I have worn many different hats as an entrepreneur, an investor, and an incubator. As an accelerator, I've spent more than 10 years fostering early stage startups and building Thrive ecosystem from the ground up. But today, I stand before you as a bridge builder. So my goal is to use my experience in corporate partnership to connect the excellence of Korea and China biotechnology field. Let's explore how we can trailblaze this future together. So today I'm going to talk about three main agenda. The first one is global synergy. How we fuse Incheon's commercialization power with the innovative spark of Shanghai, Suzhou area. And next, strategic bridge, connecting world-class manufacturing with the breakthrough startup ecosystem. And finally, I think it's a very most important one, execution challenge. Moving forward, just a talk to a concrete action plan for joint R&D and global synergy. So let me begin with the latest trend. Asia is rapidly emerging as the primary engine of growth and innovation in the global biotech landscape. According to the Global Innovation Index 2025, South Korea ranks globally. Region specifically, the Seoul-Incheon area and the Shanghai-Suzhou cluster are becoming the heart of innovation in the global market. And the global biotech market is ever growing. According to the research firm Precedence Research, the global biotech market is projected to reach 5.71 trillion US dollar by 2034. And Asia is the fastest growing region with nearly 15% of growth rate. So let's look around the two regions. Let's look at Incheon first, specifically the Songdo district where I came from. You will probably think Incheon is the gateway to Korea, but Incheon is no longer just a city or just a gateway to Korea. It has become the world's #1 biopharmaceutical production hub. With the industry giants like Celtion and Samsung Biologics, Songdo's production capacity is projected to reach over 2 million liters by 2030. That is nearly double the capacity of Boston Bio Cluster, obviously the #1 bio cluster in the world. But Incheon's ambition goes further. The city is strategically building a full-cycle bio ecosystem here through the Incheon Bio Innovation Strategy recently released. The city is integrating quantum bio AI research, establishing the K-Bio Rep Hub for startups, and opening the Songdo Severance Hospital for clinical excellence. So we are moving from made in Incheon to invented in Incheon, creating a fertile ground where startups can research, test, and manufacture all in one place. Then let's move across the sea to Shanghai Suzhou cluster. If Incheon is the manufacturing engine, this region is the innovation engine of Asia. Suzhou Bio Bay has set a bold vision to become the farm belly of China by 2030. And I understand that this region is already home for more than 3,800 biotech companies and a massive pool of global talent. What makes this cluster so unique is its incredible speed in R&D and digital transformation. Shanghai acts as a global gateway. So with the Zhangjiang High-Tech Park, leading in AI-driven drug discovery and new modalities like cell and gene therapy. The synergy between Shanghai and Suzhou creates a powerhouse for first-in-class drug development. So this cluster is where the next generation of biotech breakthrough is being born right now. So we have Incheon with the world's best scale up and manufacturing power, and Shanghai Suzhou with the world-class innovation. And the question is, how much more can we achieve when we connect two regions? So I'm truly impressed by Suzhou bio-based vision. And this region, with over 3,800 innovators here, this region has the brain power for the new drug discovery. When this combined with the Incheon's muscle, our world-class manufacturing capacity, we aren't just creating a regional partnership. We are building the most competitive bio value chain in Asia. So the synergy is clear. First, speed to market. We can take a breakthrough discoveries from this region and put it directly into Incheon's world-class manufacturing system, drastically shortening the time to global commercialization, as the panels told earlier. And data-driven innovation. By combining the vast clinical data from the Shanghai Suzhou area with the Incheon's advanced bioprocessing technology, we can lead the way in next-gen biomanufacturing. And we are not just building a bridge between two regions. We are building a global bio-nexus, a resilient high-speed highway that transforms bold ideas into life-saving treatments for patients worldwide. So I'm going to talk about a little bit more partnership and a strategic roadmap. Many partnerships start with present shake hands, but usually end without action. But our roadmap is different. We have designed the three-phase execution plan to ensure this Incheon-Suzhou bridge deliver real, tangible result. The phase one is expanding ecosystem network. It starts right now in 2026. We are launching the Global Open Innovation Challenge with Celtrion to actively recruit and discover high potential startups in both regions. We aren't just looking for ideas. We are looking for the seeds of global success that can thrive in both the Korean and Chinese market, and beyond that in the global market. Phase two, expanding the collaboration model. In this phase, we focus on maximizing the outcomes from our Global Open Innovation Challenge. We will provide the selected startups with direct access to Celtrion's experts and Incheon's infrastructure. Finally, phase three is setting leadership. Our ultimate goal is to establish a fully integrated Korea-China biohub. This will be a borderless ecosystem where intellectual property, talent, and capital flow freely between two regions. To reach this level, we must move beyond the Celtrion Open Innovation Challenge alone. It requires a collective effort from all ecosystem players, like universities, research institutes, VCs, and government bodies. I truly believe that when we combine our diverse strengths, we won't just follow the global trend, we will set them. So now let's get into the heart of our program, the Global Open Innovation Challenge 2026. This is not just another startup competition. It is a highly selective, result-oriented partnership between Incheon City, Incheon Technopark, Celtrion, and TBG partners. Our goal is to identify high potential startups and provide them with direct technical consulting from Celtrion's top experts. We offer proof of concept, POC platform, where your technology can be validated using the infrastructure of a global leader. Among these, 3 finalists will receive intensive acceleration to enter the global market. So we are looking for partners who are ready to scale, ready to innovate, and ready to leverage the combined strengths of 2 regions. If you have the technology, we have the highway to the global market. So maybe your question is that what exactly are we looking for? So I want to explain the areas of interest from Celtrion's perspective. First, novel antibody and AI platform. Celtrion is seeking novel antibodies, bispecific and multispecific platforms, and especially AI-driven drug discovery tools. And second, drug delivery and translational model. This includes organ-specific delivery systems, 3D printing pharma, and long-acting injectables that can transfer patients' convenience. Third, peptides and new modalities. Celtrion is interested in peptide therapeutics and especially interested in longevity sector, including anti-aging, cell and gene therapeutics. And finally, advanced manufacturing. We are looking for next generation cell line development. So if your company works in these fields, you are exactly who we are looking for. We don't just want to see your slide. We want to see how your technology can change the lives of a patient worldwide. So as I close today's presentation, I want to leave you with one word: co-innovation. No single company or region can solve the world health problem. But when we combine Suzhou's brilliant innovation with Incheon's world-class manufacturing, we create a force that can truly change the world. If you agree that we need to find a new path for biotech, one that starts here in Asia and leads to the global stage, please join us. Please scan the QR code on the screen and reach out to us. Let's not just talk about the future, let's build it together. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
大家下好，我是韩国保健产业振兴院首席代表白崇珠，非常荣幸跟大家一起在这里，因为时间的关系，我马上开始。반갑습니다. 저는 한국보건산업진흥원 중국 대표처 수석 대표 백승수입니다.
大家好，我是韩国保健产业振兴院中国代表处首席代表白成珠。
제가 말씀드리고 싶은 주제는 한국 제약 바이오 산업 현황과 한중 협력 방향에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다.
我今天发表的主要内容是韩国生物制药产业现状及中韩合作方向。
먼저 저희 한국보건산업진흥원 소개를 잠깐 드리면 한국보건산업진흥원은 바이오에스 분야 정부 공공기관입니다. 자세한 내용은 시간 관계상 생략하겠습니다.
韩国保健产业振兴院是韩国生物健康领域的公共政府机构。由于时间关系，这里不做详情介绍。
제약 바이오 산업 시장 현황에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다.
接下来我为大家介绍第二部分，是生物制药产业的市场现状。
바이오에스 산업은 보시는 바와 같이 의료 서비스, 제약 바이오, 의료기기, 화장품으로 구분할 수 있습니다. 전체 시장 규모는 13조 5천억 달러 중 제약 바이오 시장 규모는 1조 7,470억 달러 규모가 되겠습니다.
从整体来看，生物健康产业可分为，医疗服务、制药、生物、医疗机械和化妆品4个领域。全球生物健康产业市场规模为13.5万亿美元，其中生物制药产业市场规模为1.7487万亿美元，相对来说占据韩国非常重要的市场位置。
한국 바이오헬스 산업 시장 현황에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다.
接下来是关于目前韩国生物健康产业的市场情况。
한국 바이오헬스 산업은 전 세계 11위 규모이며 제약 바이오 산업 시장 규모는 약 1.4%의 비중을 차지하고 있습니다.
韩国生物健康产业在全球排名为第11位，其中生物制药产业在全球市场中占比为1.4%。
제약 산업 국가별 시장 규모에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다.
这部分是各国制药产业市场规模对比。
보시는 바와 같이 미국과 중국이 1, 2위를 차지하고 있으며 한국은 13위를 차지하고 있습니다.
由图所示，美国和中国分别位列于第1和第2位，韩国排名是13位。
그러나 주목하실 것은 대한민국은 2024년부터 2030년까지 연평균 성장률 CAGR이 9%로 상위 20개국 중 가장 높은 성장을 할 것으로 예상됩니다.
但值得关注的趋势是从2024年到2023年，全国生物制药产业的年均复合增长率预计为9%，是全国前20个国家中增长速度最快的。
한국 바이오 산업의 장점에 대해서 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다.
接下来我想要回答一个问题，就是为什么要选择韩国？
한국은 그 자체로는 시장 규모가 그렇게 크지는 않지만 미국 등 메인 시장으로 가는 브릿지 진출 허브의 역할을 하고 있습니다.
韩国制药产业的优势在于，虽然本国市场规模并不算大，但韩国在进入美国等主要市场时，能够发挥桥梁和枢纽的作用。
즉 K-바이오는 북미 및 유럽 시장 공략을 위한 핵심 거점이자 글로벌 빅파마 진출을 위한 전략적 파트너라는 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다.
也就是说 ，K-바이오既是进入北美和欧洲市场的重要据点，也是对接全球大型制药公司的战略合作伙伴。
한국의 핵심 역량에 대해서 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다.
具体来说，韩国在以下几个方面具备相对核心的竞争力。
첫 번째는 보시는 바와 같이 한국의 핵심 역량은 임상 거점, 클리니컬 허브라는 점을 말씀드리겠습니다.
首先是临床枢纽的优势，
신뢰할 수 있는 세계적 수준의 대형 병원과 암센터를 중심으로 방대한 임상 데이터를 신속하게 확보할 수 있습니다.
韩国拥有多家世界级大型医院以及顶级的癌症中心。
두 번째는 제조 거점, 매뉴팩처링 허브이라는 점을 말씀드리겠습니다.
其次是生产制造的纽枢优势。
인천 송도의 글로벌 수준의 CDMO 위탁 개발 생산 시설과 바이오 제약 생산 능력은 바탕으로 상업용 대량 생산을 전폭 지원할 수 있는 능력을 보유하고 있습니다.
以仁川地区为核心，韩国已经建立起全国领先水平的 CDMO 设施以及强大的生物制药生产力，能够为商业化的大规模生产提供全面支持。
세 번째로는 글로벌 규제 조율에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다.
第三的话，它具备全球监管对接能力。
미국 및 유럽 시장을 진출하기 위한 사전 검증의 관문 역할을 수행하며 해외 진출의 리스크를 최소화할 수 있습니다.
韩国在法规体系方面与欧美高度接轨，能够在产品进入美国和欧洲市场之前发挥预检验关口的作用，从而降低企业海外扩展的风险。
네 번째로는 개방형 혁신, 오픈 이노베이션 관련입니다.
第四是韩国具有开放式的创新。
다국적 기업 및 미국 내 자회사와의 네트워크를 통해서 신규 파이프라인을 구축하고 기술 수출 라이센스 아웃 채널을 활성화할 수 있습니다.
韩国通过与跨国制药企业以及美国设立的子公司网络进行合作，不断推动新药研发管线建设，同时也积极促进技术输出，推动全球化的合作。
작년 10월에 2025년 글로벌 제약 바이오 산업 지수가 발표되었습니다.
去年10月发布的2025年全球生物制药产业指数中，
한국은 지수에서 세계 3위, 아시아 1위를 기록하였으며 이는 대외적 불확실성에도 불구하고 한국의 인적 자원과 R&D 생태계, CDMO 경쟁력에서 우수한 평가를 받은 결과입니다.
在报告中，韩国在该指数排名为第3位，亚洲排名第1位。这一成绩表明，在即使外部环境不确定的情况下，韩国在人才资源、生态研发以及 CDMO 竞争力方面依然获得了社会高度的评价。
2025년은 제약 바이오 분야에서도 의미 있는 한 해였습니다.
2025年对韩国生物制药产业来说，同样是非常有意义的一年。
2025년 바이오헬스 산업 수출액은 전년 대비 10.3% 증가한 278.7억 달러로 역대 최고 수출 실적을 기록하였습니다.
2025年生物健康产业出口额达到278.7亿美金，同比增长10.3%，创最高纪录。
의약품 수출액 또한 104.1억 달러로 전년 대비 12.3% 증가하며 역대 최대 수출 실적을 기록하였습니다.
其中，医药出口额高达104.1亿美金，同比增长12.3%，同样刷新新历史最高水平。
한중 제약 바이오 협력 방향에 대해서 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다.
接下来进行第3部分，也就是中韩制药生物合作的方向。
언론을 통해서 보셨겠지만 2026년은 한중 정상이 만나서 한중 관계 전면 복원의 원년을 선포한 해입니다.
大家可能已经通过媒体了解到，2026年被两国领导人共同宣布为中韩关系全面恢复的重要元年。
바이오헬스 산업을 포함한 여러 분야에서 더욱 긴밀한 협력이 예상됩니다.
在这样的背景下，全国包括生物健康产业在内的多个领域将迎来更加紧密的合作机会。
특히 실버 경제는 한중 모두 함께 윈윈할 수 있는 미래 협력 분야입니다.
其中，银发经济领域被认为中韩双方可以实现互相共赢的重要合作方向。
2025년 11월 APEC 한중 정상회의 시 한중 우호관계 조성 및 실버 산업 협력에 관한 MOU를 체결하였으며 2026년 1월 베이징 한중 정상회의 시 실버 경제 협력을 강조하였습니다.
在2025年11月举行的亚太组织会议中韩领导人会议上，双方签署了关于促进中韩友好关系及银发合作产业合作的谅解备忘录。随后，在26年1月在北京举行的中韩领导会晤中，双方再次强调了加强研发经济合作的重要性。
한국은 이미 초고령 사회로 접어들었으며 중국 또한 고령화 가속화 및 노인 인구 비중이 확대되고 있습니다.
从人口结构上来看，韩国在2025年已经正式进入超高龄社会，而中国的人口老龄化也在不断加速，老龄人口比例持续上升。
특히 중국은 고령화 사회에서 초고령 사회로 전환되는 소요 시간이 21년으로 너무 빠르다는 것에 주목하셔야 됩니다.
如图所示，特别值得关注的是，中国从老龄化社会进入超高龄社会，预计只需21年，这一速度在全球范围内非常快。
고령화 사회는 준비 없이 맞이하면 재앙이지만 잘 준비하면 좋은 기회가 될 수 있습니다.
人口老龄化如果准备不足，可能会成为社会的压力；但如果提前布局，也完全可以转化为新的发展机遇。
제약 바이오를 포함한 바이오헬스 산업은 공공성과 시장성을 겸비한 미래 성장 분야이기 때문입니다.
而包括生物制药在内的生物健康产业，正是一个兼具共同价值与市场潜力的重要增长领域。
한중 제약 바이오 협력 방향에 대해서 말씀드리도록 하겠습니다.
接下来我将介绍中韩生物制药合作的方向。
특히 제약 바이오 분야는 한중 상호 강점에 기반한 보완적 파트너십 구축이 협력의 핵심 성공 열쇠라 생각합니다.
我认为在这一领域，以双方优势为基础，建设互补型合作伙伴关系是合作成功的关键。
데이터 신뢰성, 품질 관리, 위탁 개발 생산 능력, R&D 역량을 보유한 한국은 앞서 말씀드린 것처럼 북미 등 메인 시장 공략을 위한 핵심 거점이자 글로벌 빅파마 진출을 위한 전략적 파트너입니다.
韩国在数据可靠性、质量管理、CDMO 研发能力具有优势。正如前面提到的，韩国可以作为进入北美市场的重要据点，同时也是对接全球大型制药公司的战略合作伙伴。
중국은 세계에서 두 번째로 큰 시장 규모, 자본 투자, 임상 비용 및 속도 측면에서 강점이 있습니다.
而中国则拥有全国第2大的市场规模，在资本投入、临床试验成本和速度方面都具有明显的优势。
혁신 의약품에 대한 심사 기간 단축 등 유연한 규제 완화 및 고급 인재 유치 등으로 더욱 빠른 발전이 예상됩니다.
同时，中国近年来通过加快创新新药审批周期，推进监管改革以及吸引高端人才，预计未来将实现更快的发展。
이러한 한중 간의 강점을 바탕으로 협력해 나간다면 기술 협력은 물론 임상부터 생산, 상용화 전 과정에서의 다양한 시너지가 예상됩니다.
如果中韩双方能够充分发挥各自优势，深化合作，那么不仅在技术研发层面可以实现突破，还能够在临床研究、生产制造到商业化落地的整个产业链条上形成巨大的协同效应。
근본 바이오 차이나 2026년 행사에 기술력 있는 한국 제약 바이오 기업 21개사가 참여하였습니다.
最后，我想简单介绍一下韩国参加本次展会的情况。本次活动中，共有21家具有技术实力的韩国制药生物企业参展。
보시는 바와 같이 한국 홍보관도 운영 중에 있습니다.
同时，我们也设立了韩国国家馆。
한국관은 C3053-054에 위치하고 있으니 많이 찾아주셔서 한중 상호 간에 교류 협력하시면 좋겠습니다.
韩国馆位于 C3馆53、54展位，欢迎各位前来参观交流。同时，希望这次活动可以促进中韩两国企业之间的合作与交流。
마지막 장입니다. 제약 바이오 산업은 한국은 좋은 파트너입니다. 감사합니다.
最后，我想分享的也是我的核心，是中国在制药生产领域，韩国是值得信赖的合作伙伴。谢谢大家。
谢谢大家。
更多内容请持续关注异想线上。See you next time.